I'm gonna make a quick video on how to set an alert on Tradingview for your buy signals. We got it set on a daily chart, Heikin-Ashi setting. I use this stochastic RSI. You can use pretty much any momentum oscillator indicator, but it seems like it works pretty good. Like sometimes you'll get a head fake on this, like this Williams percent R. It might cross above your oversold line and dip back down and get a double dip on you. The Heikin-Ashi helps a little bit on that, smooths it out, but where you don't get near as much whipsaw, where it goes up and then gives you a head fake and then goes back down. But so I try to avoid that, as much as you can. So I said I keep it on the Heikin-Ashi setting for the candlesticks, and then just come down here on your bottom. It's your 20 line for stochastic RSI, and just double click it or right click if you got a mouse. Click Add Alert. Click. I do once per bar, so that's gonna alert me at the end of the day on a daily chart. Then I set that to a 20 value, and I put crossing up. So that's going to alert you when it crosses up this 20 oversold level on the once per bar. That's the end of the day. So once that closes out, if you want to, you can set play sound if you want, or set up notify on the app, show a pop-up on your computer or on your phone. The noise gets kind of annoying after a while, but I mean, it'll only alert you once unless you set it. Now, if you want to, you can have it set at once per minute, and all throughout the day, every time it's showing that indicator above 20, it's going to alert you once per minute. So that gets pretty old, some things. But and I just come down here, I just highlight all this. You don't have to change this, but I just like to change it. I'll just put like 1 day buy signal. Something I can look at it right quick if I get the alert, and I don't have to, decipher if I'm half asleep or something what it's representing. So that's how I do it. And I just hit create. If you have the premium package, you can get 400 of these alerts. I've got 386 of my 400. I just had to go through and delete a bunch of 4-hour alerts while ago so I could have enough to do all my shopping list. You see a big crash, or a big dip like we just recently had. It's good to have your shopping list over here. I just went through and set up all my daily buy signals. So when any of these start popping up, these are oversold right now. A lot of them doesn't mean they're, have bottomed out yet. I mean, this AOS or AIOZ, it's only on a 4 count down. Could go, it touched your 786 Fibonacci today, or a little bit below, almost to the 1.0, 100% retracement. But this could still go down easily another 4 or 5 days, I think. But we may get, anywhere from 9 days to 2 weeks out of this before we get a decent bounce, sustainable. But that's kind of my game plan. So I just go through and set everything up, and then that way, once it hits, you got your daily buy signal. Then you can start looking at your lower time frames. What I'll do, I'll go to my 4-hour then. I'll wait. You want to see something like this on a 4-hour. Now this is a buy signal on a 4-hour. It's not confirmed until your clock hits 0 over here. So if you look at your candlestick, started at 2 o'clock today. So add 4 hours to that on a 4-hour chart, and that's when it confirms. Sometimes if it's on your first hour of a 4-hour candlestick, it's not confirmed until your 4 hours is up. Sometimes you might start out strong and then finish weak, and you get a head fake, and this thing turns from green to red. If you buy on your first hour, then you're sitting there holding the bag while it keeps going down. But so you kind of want to try to avoid that if you can. You see these 9 counts come down, 1 or 2, 3 more bars a lot of times after a 9 count, and then it starts back up. So I don't want to try to catch a falling knife over here. You could try to time it. You could do a Fibonacci retracement on it or whatever and try to see if you can get close to the bottom. I've done that some. If you want to just put in a Hail Mary bid, standing bid. I got filled on one today on Dirk. That worked out so far pretty good. It may still go down, for another day or 2 or 3, or I don't know, 4 or 5 days if it wants to. But it's on an 8 count, -8's what I call it, on a red down count. So, I'm hoping another day or two, may retrace down here and then bounce off. I'm hoping. Uh, so if it does, I'm in a pretty good position on it. I don't think it's a bad strategy if you're not risking a lot of money, 10 to 25% of your portfolio, maybe even 50%, if of your position. So I wouldn't put more than 10% in any single coin or asset or stock or whatever. I learned that the hard way from Goldman Sachs mentor Anton Creel is who taught me that. He also told me, if you want to set like a short stop loss, mental stop loss. I don't use hard stop losses where they're actually entered in, but he says he uses 0.250 of your total portfolio. So say you've got $100,000, times that by point. Let's see, 0.25, I think is what you do it. Yeah, that'd be like $2,500 stop loss, I guess. But I want to say he had you could do 10,000 if you did a 10%, then times that by 0.025. I think that's 0.25% though, so that'd be triple O. So no, that's not right. So $250, whatever it is, I think is. If you put 10 grand in a trade, 0.025, yeah, $250. Okay, so that's 2.5%, I think, but whatever the math is, anyway. I was also looking at. I was going to show you the other thing over here. So once you get your buy signal, like on AOS on a 4-hour, see over here, you got your buy signal on the 4-hour. Well, then I'm going to go down to a 1-hour, see how it looks. Now it's overbought on a 1-hour, so sometimes it's hard to get all your time frames, to line up. Sometimes you just gotta take the best shot you can. I prefer to catch it on a 1-hour. See, if you got it on a 1-hour, you'd be over here. You're about 8 hours late to the party. So if this hits a 9, it could roll over, come down on you a little bit. You could put a Fibonacci on it, see where your retracement level is if you want to. Let's see, let me zero this Fibonacci out so it'll be easier to kind of tell. I'll show you a demonstration. So I'm going to put my Fibonacci on. I come over here to my lowest point, go to my highest point. That's showing, about 64 cents on the 786. There's no guarantee it's going to dip that far, but, in a down market, it definitely could. See, there's an alert went off on Wars. It's a 1-hour buy signal. Decent. So I do the same thing on my lower time frames too, especially when I'm trying to fine tune my entry or exit points. I'll put alerts on because you just can't track them all. You got over 30, 40, or sometimes even 100 on your watch list. You got to have alerts to help you keep track of it. Now they're going off, all times of the night, so I just try to put my phone on vibrate so they don't wake everybody up, including myself. But so yeah, I just try to catch it maybe somewhere off a 21 moving average, or maybe the 0.5 to 786 zone. That's anywhere from 69 to 64 cents. It's only 5 cents difference, so it's not going to be make or break you even if you want to just put it in around the 0.5. Most likely probably get filled. It could come down here to the bottom of these Keltner zones. A lot of times these will top out or bottom out off of this Keltner band right here. It's kind of like a Bollinger Band. I set it up where you can add it off your indicators. Let's go over here, click that, type in Keltner. I can show you what it looks like. I probably got it on my favorites. Yeah, Keltner channels right here. Search that up here and it'll show up. Select it and start it as your favorite if you want. So here's my Keltner band. I got it set up on a 21. You go to your settings, your cogwheel, your inputs. I've got a length on a 21. So That's 21 candlesticks, whatever time frame you're on. I multiply it times a 3x, so it's 3 times the length, I guess, or 3 times the moving average, or whatever, however they calculate it. And then your ATR, average true range, is on a 21 candlestick setting also. You set it up on your style however you want. I just do the upper and lower. I take the middle band off. You can just unselect it. It'll be selected, but I just unselect it, and then I turn the background off. Visibility, on whatever time frame you want, but then just hit OK, and that's pretty much how you set that up. I think that's kind of helped me, just kind of helps you. If it gets overbought, it'll get outside this top Keltner band sometimes, So if it's on a daily, weekly, and it's above this, if it's anywhere close 7, 8, 9 count, I usually just take profit. So that's what I do. But either that, or I'll set my price targets, with the Fibonacci trend-based fib extension, like I showed on previous videos. But let's see. So once I get the 1 hour, if you look, so we're on the 1 hour. You can either try to fine tune your entry if you're in an overbought, high count zone, to try to fine tune. You can put in a standard bid anywhere, I'd say 0.5 to 786 level, or you go down to your 24 minute, and I like to look and see what my indicator's saying. So it's saying it's overbought and you've already lost momentum on this 24 minute. So your shorter time frame is losing momentum. So I like to wait on this to bottom out and then come back up as my buy signal. And that's where ideally when you want to go ahead and pull the trigger and just buy. If you want to just buy the current price, that's the easiest way, I think. That way you're not trying to catch a falling knife. You're not trying to, crystal ball, play Houdini, or whatever you want to call it. It's awesome when you call the exact bottom to the penny, but very seldom. Most people aren't able to do it. And even if you do get it, like, you could set your buy target on the exact 1 hour, pullback, but there's no guarantee you're going to get it. I've seen several times where I'll miss it by like 1 penny. And that's almost a market maker thing where, they're going to make you chase the price actions, what they're doing. But, just to keep you from getting filled on the exact, 64 cents, well, you might round it up. Maybe, go in between 69 cents, 64, put it around the 67, 68. Could even just round it up to 70. If you really want in this thing, you could, get that. But, depends on your time frame, how if you're about to go to bed or something, you can always, just throw in I put a Hail Mary bid in overnight, see if you get a 64 cent fill or something. Or down here on this, bottom Keltner zone, it'd be around, and I can't tell where that's at. Probably, about 60 cents, I think. So you can highlight, around 60. So it'd be a little above that, so probably around 62. Because you can see it's already curving up, so that you can kind of tell that's going to trace up in here. Your price action is probably going to pull back down around in here. So, try to figure out where your zone is going to meet. I got this off of that crypto face. He likes to draw. He'll just draw like imaginary, and that didn't work. Yeah. Okay, so he'll just draw like down here with. Yeah, it's not working too good with my mouse. But anyway, I don't know why, but yeah. Whatever. So, you just take your tool and, draw it. Your paintbrush or whatever. It might work better with a mouse, but, maybe you can just draw it like that. Draw it, trace it up, and then draw your price action, down here. Kind of see where it might intercross. Throw you a bid right around 66 cents. Play around with it, see if you can fine tune it. Might get really good it's kind of like trying to hit a moving target. It's the way I explain it. I mean, it's not it's not a perfect science, but um, it's kind of like skeet shooting. If you ever went skeet shooting or dove hunting or whatever, you gotta try to lead it a little bit, try to pinpoint where it's going to bounce off of, or the price action's constantly changing, it's moving around, so it's a little bit of a fine art, or a little bit of a touch feel. The more you do it, you get a little better practice at it. So anyway, that's about all I got. So I was also going to show y'all the Williams cycle tool, what it's showing like on for crypto gaming. I'm able to look up sandbox or whatever it's called. It nailed it pretty close. It was showing a top on December 3rd coming down. Looks like it bottoms, short-term bottom around 12.9, 9th of December, and then kind of traces up till about 12.20, and then a pretty good dip till about 12.30. So I don't know. We'll see if that plays out or not. I mean, it could come down, bounce off of this uh, Ichimoku cloud, or it may just kind of trace it bottom to the top of the cloud. But so we'll keep an eye on that. Ethereum's kind of showing, it, you know, it shows a little different setup. It was showing a bottom on November 29th, and then a top at December 17th. Nearly everything was showing that, but part of this is seasonality, so you can't really count on it 100%. I don't know exactly how this is calculated, but and Larry, the guy that made it, the indicator, Larry Williams, said he does say sometimes it can be a week early, could be a week late. So who knows? I mean, this rally here, that could have been what this was showing. This up action right here could have been this week right here. Indicating should have been like a week later, I guess, or almost. What was that? That was the 19th when it started. The big up day, I believe, was the 19th, the full moon day. Yeah, what's that, about 13 days, I guess. She has about 2 weeks off, if that is what this was indicating. So once again, I hadn't used this indicator enough to really trust it. I definitely wouldn't bet the farm on it, because I mean, I guess it's better than nothing as a roadmap of what price action might do. But um, you know, if I would have trusted it on this new moon cycle, I'd have been 80% invested on a big, huge crash day. And so instead, I trusted my gut, trusted my instinct, trusted the lunar cycle, because I have watched it since at least March of I think it was this year. Yeah, it was this year. I started tracking it, and pretty much worked nearly every single month, uh, especially on the full moon going up for Bitcoin. Um, and if you want to use that, I can show you how to find it. You go to I'll pull up a chart of Bitcoin, go to daily, and let me hide this. And then go to your indicators, search for moon. I think it's moon cycles. There's two different ones. Moon phases. I think I use moon cycles. Just select it. It'll overlay your chart. Over here, another way, like your chart gets all out of whack. It took me like 2 years to figure this out. You just right click it or double click on your hit click auto fit, and it just automatically readjusts it. I think there's another thing you can do. You can do your refresh button. It'll refresh it too. They just added that not too long ago. But so anyway, you can see your lunar cycles over the last 6 months to a year. It overlays it over like Bitcoin. So your bottom one is your full moon, your bright white. These are your new moon cycles, and your crescent moon, or whatever that stands for, your quarter moon or whatever that is. I mean, you can tell pretty much I mean, not exact, but within a day or two, usually of the bottom. Starting out and pretty close on your tops. I mean, this one didn't work that great. This one worked perfect back in September almost. This one was a little late or a little early on the top. Could have used your 9 count though for the top. I mean, you could like if you're getting anywhere close to a new moon and I'm on a 9 count, I'm getting out every time from now on. I mean, it works really good on Ethereum. Uh, See if I got an Ethereum chart on my. I learned that from that Marin Altman, I think. She's really big into the planets and the alignment of stars and all that stuff. But I don't know if I truly get into all that, but I'm definitely a believer in this lunar cycle now because this is that's twice in a row where the full moon day was a huge up day, and I bet on it pretty big. It made one of the best days I've ever had. I think I made like 7 grand that day or something. But and this new moon, even though I sold most of my big positions, I still lost nearly 6,000. Um, Starting yesterday into the day, and December 4th. That's the new moon day today, starting at like 3:53 Eastern time or something. Um, and I just find that on Google. If you want to just Google, just go over here, go to lunar cycles, lunar cycles or lunar calendar. 2021. You pretty much find it. Any of these will track it. You can set your time frame or whatever. That's on Amarillo. I like using New York time because that's a lot of market. For like stock market stuff or whatever. You can just set New York. Search that over, and then that'll give you the New York time zones when the actual moon. So December 18th will be your new full moon on 11:35 p.m. It's cold moon. If you don't know what that is, you click that. Some of these are a little different. Like this cycle was an eclipse full moon and an eclipse new moon. So sometimes they're a little more drastic, is what I read. So you can read the history, of the cold moon. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, some of them are a little, I don't know, maybe more severe or more dramatic in the, you know, psychological effects on human nature, more or less, is what it's based on. Um, so I mean, most people have probably heard, you always feel a little more frisky or whatever on a full moon, or you're like more bar fights, more DUIs, more the emergency rooms are always packed. A lot of childbirths happen on full moon nights, but uh, they say it can raise, the difference in the tide of the ocean up to I think like 10 to 100 feet, depending on how close it is to the earth, I guess. But so anyway, I'll definitely start watching that. Um, you know, you can tell on Ethereum, it's a lot more drastic. Pretty close on Ethereum. That's what that Marin Altman was saying on her YouTube channel. If you want to find her and follow her, I think she does most of her stuff on TikTok and a little bit of Twitter posts. But yeah, some big moves off Ethereum off of this lunar cycle. Looks like, I mean, it's down 8% today on this new moon right here. But that's about all I got. Catch y'all later.